Anyway. Right, if you're watching on TikTok, thank you for joining. Thank you very much. And if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Thank you for joining. And the next live I will be doing will be editing your photos. So if you want me to edit your photos, there is a pinned post on my TikTok right now with details on how to enter that. I need to get a script on screen for this because I keep forgetting it. Yeah, there'll be a post up on how to enter that. And I will not be taking on any extra ratings tonight because unless there is galaxies left, that's the only time I'll be taking on extra ratings because we currently have 48 to get through. And yeah, I think I've said all the bells and whistles and T's and C's. Supplies anyway, words of wisdom. Yeah, so yeah, please, one thing I ask is do not DM me during this live. I will not be looking at pictures unless I ask you to DM me the image, then please don't. Because I will not look at it. I don't have access to them in RAW right now. I think if you've got it in Lightroom, you should be able to save it from that, to be honest. Right, where are we at? Oh, someone's come in with a galaxy straight away. Right, okay, Will 90210, DM me the picture, mate. And this is what I mean. If you leave a galaxy, we'll get on it. But yeah, Will, if you just DM me that picture quickly, mate, and we'll pull it up straight away. But I will do that first. How do I send? Just on TikTok DM will be fine, mate. Yeah, you may have to hop off and come back on, but if you TikTok DM me, I'll pull it up straight away. What in the halal is this? I don't know, mate. Don't know myself. Okay, we'll get rid of that in a sec. Right, we're just gonna wait for Will as he's come straight in. Hello, how are we? How are we? I wasn't expecting people to jump in that early, to be fair. But you know, is that the front? From his, yeah, there we go. Right, he's just sent it through now. Yeah, you're not wrong, mate. You are not wrong. He's come straight in with a banger. I'll be honest as well, the one thing I will say, right, is the standard of imagery that came through on this is stupid good. Like, I was looking through it, and like, obviously there's, you know, the things, you know, but like, you know, there was the usual stuff, but there was a few that were like, you know, like I was impressed, you know. Okay, right. We're going to kick things off with Will. He's come straight in with a galaxy. Good man. Appreciate the support. So let me just pull that screen up for him. So he's come straight in with the good stuff. So where are we at? What's going on? Okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure I can pull my phone up so I can see what's going on. Yeah, what a shot and what a car. Like, this is what I was saying. The standard of imagery that has come through on this one is incredibly high. Like, all of them were incredibly high. So, is he in here? Yes, he is. At Will90210, as the comments have said, what a shot, what a car, and oofed. This, do you know, all right, like, I want to give you a lot of feedback on this, but this is lovely. Yeah, to kick things off, you've set the bar high, mate. You've set the bar really, really high. Now, I'm just having a look. In terms of shutter speed, you've got it bang on for a roller. Good amount of motion blur in the foreground and background. Wheels are spinning nicely. Not too much that they're like almost totally see-through, but enough you can still see the color and the pattern. I think maybe this area of the sky is perhaps slightly blown out, but again, I don't know. Like, I think that's being mean. I think there are. Cartel Automotive has already laid in, but you know, I think, mate, this is good. You know, I'm shocked by how how crispy the car is versus everything else. I think, like, if you want me to be like incredibly nitpicking, that cloud up there is annoying, but that's, again, like I said, incredibly nitpicking. That cloud there, and that is it, I think. I would have liked to have seen some colour in the sky, but it works without. Do you know, I like, this was a warm-up, Jesus. You know, I mean, like, again, like, if you want my personal preference, I would have edited out the plate. But that, again, is just personal preference. Like, I don't know if the guy himself wants it in. But blown out sky, as I said, the blown out sky is a good amount of negative space for like brand logos and stuff. So that's not even a bad thing. Do you know, mate, I'm going to do it. We're on the first one. Chef's kiss, mate. Very first one. Like, there's nothing bad I can say. And everyone knows the chef's kiss is the seal of approval from the fat Welsh photographer, the photography Jesus, Welsh Jesus. But yeah, Will90210 _ mate. This is, I've got nothing bad to say. Everything I say, like, on this would just be personal preference. It would just be what I do. But you're not me, so we don't want to be. But no, mate, this is incredible. Like, this is absolutely bang on. And like you said, this was just a warm-up shot. So I'd love to see the actual, like, full-on shots, because this is awesome. Coloring's nice. Gradial, you know, use of masking's lovely as well. The colors are spot on. Yes, the sky is slightly overexposed, but, like, you know, there's a good amount of negative space to put like brand logos or something on there. But no, Mate, nothing bad to say. Nothing bad to say about that. What a way to kick the live off, eh? Right, let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. Will this go on YouTube? Yes, it will, mate. Yes, it will. Wait, so now you rate photos from Gmail or edit them because you rate... Okay, so sorry, let me clear that up because I know it is a bit confusing. So for the editing, email me the picture. For the ratings, send me the picture on, like, basically just keep an eye out on the posts, and the posts will have the instructions in. I know it's a little bit sort of hit and miss at the minute. I'm still, like I said, I'm still working out how to do it. But I watched the Peaky Blinders film. I've had mixed reviews, mate. But yeah, it'll all go up on YouTube anyway. I tend to try and put it up either the same night or the next morning, so I do put them up fairly quickly. I've been trying to get rating for ages. Have you? Mate, I've not seen your stuff come through. Yeah, but I'm glad, mate. I'm glad. That was a banger, to be fair. That was an absolute banger. Like, you've set, like, the standard of images that have come through have been, like, really high, but that, to start it off, you set the bar. You have set the bar. Okay, right. Cool. So we all know the deal. We all know what's going on. If you want to jump the queue, that's what the Galaxies are for. If not, we're just going to carry on through as normal. I will not be taking any additional submissions and without some form of gifting going on. So I'm just going to keep chipping away through these. And if people can somewhat police the comments, are the Discord submissions rated in this live? No, they're not. I'll be honest with you, what's happened, basically the Discord, I'll clear this up before we get going. The Discord has had to take a slightly different direction to what I originally planned. So I'm still working things out. I may do a different live specifically for the Discord. I'm still working it out. Basically, like, I made the Discord and put it behind the paywall of Patreon, and then got some backlash for that, so now I've opened up the Patreon and I'm still working out what to do with it. I hope I haven't misled anyone with the Discord. I'm still working it out, so bear with me. I may do like a different live for the Discord, see what I've got time for. Okay, I'm here. Yes, you are. So speak of the Patreon, get on it. Exactly. Just join. No, we're literally on the second one now. So literally this is the second one. So someone came through with a Galaxy straight away. So we jumped straight on this picture and now we're on the second one. So yeah, just to clear up before I get cracking, because a lot of people have just joined. Next live is going to be editing your pictures. Instructions on that on my pinned post. If you want to jump the queue on this live, you need to send a Galaxy and DM me your picture and then we'll get on it. If not, we're just going to crack on through. I'm going to try and get this done in an hour or so, but we'll see what happens. And yeah, if we could all like and share and do everything with this live, that'd be great. I really would. That'd be really, really appreciated. Yeah, we've all got thumbs. Let's use them, people. Okay, right. Let's get cracking. Pinkies up on the waters, boys. Okay, right. This is nice. Photo.by Philos. Now, there's a couple of distracting elements in this that really bug me. So you got the drain there, you've got a plant and a car there. There's like a couple of bits about that are quite distracting for me. I think if you cleared those out with a bit of my mate Phil, generative Phil, and cleared all that out, you'd be onto a winner. But I love what you've done with the colour of this. Like, these McLarens do have a lovely, lovely orange. So you've really done a good job of getting those out. I want to say that's 720? 720S, am I right? Maybe. But yeah, so I would just get rid of the distractions and I think you're onto a winner there. It's a good angle. It's a bit high, but it's still nice. It's a good angle, good colour, maybe a little bit of a mask top and bottom. But other than that, like, the car stands out by itself, so it doesn't really need much extra colour grading to masking to pull it out. But I would have liked to have seen a bit. But no, distracting elements and masking, and you'd be onto a winner there. We're off to a good start, people. It's not a P1. Is it a P1? Is it a P1? It is a P1. I like McLarens as well. I'm miles out there, aren't I? I'm miles out. Never mind. It's with this thought that counts, you know. I hope you're good. Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Your mic's cutting out every so often for a millisecond and comes back. But it could be. Yeah, I think, like, I watch it. That's why I kept you probably caught me looking at the mic, but it's not cutting out. So I'm not sure. I'll keep it there so I can keep an eye on it. But I do think there is something going on. I hope you're well. Likewise, mate. Likewise. Okay, right. Next one. I think it is a TikTok thing, to be honest. Like I said, when I watch the recordings back, there's never any mic issues. Like, if anything, the mics are the main thing that keeps working. Because I don't. What's going on? Can you rate mine? I've sent it through. If you want to jump the queue, there's a Galaxy. That's how you jump the queue. If not, you'll have to wait for another live, unfortunately. Where to submit photos? I'm not accepting any more photos now without Galaxies being left. And then I'll give you instructions on how to skip it. But if you want your photos edited on the next live, there is information on the pinned post. Okie dokie. At dummy_Luca. Now, I don't know if this is just the comment section kind of ruining the quality a bit. Obviously, it has impacted the quality, but all this bottom bit on the floor there seems to be really dark. Now, I know the car is like bright pink and it does stand out from it. I just would like to have seen perhaps a bit more exposure on the image overall. And to be honest, actually, other than that, I don't really think I do much else. It's clearly at a show, so I'm not going to tell you to edit anything out because it's at the show, isn't it? But I think you just need to bring the exposure up overall, because I think that just doing that overall will give the whole image a bit more pop and definitely give that pink a bit more pop as well. But I think that's the only thing I'd actually say to change about this. You could perhaps have gone to the right a little bit just to show the wheels off more, but even then, that's negligible. But yeah, I think overall, you just needed to bring the exposure up, I think, really. Like, I think that's about it. The comments destroys the quality, but it's not going to change the edit. So yeah, I think overall, I think just bring the exposure up a little bit. I think you've got some bright colors in there, really, really give them some oomph, Don't crush them by dropping the exposure and adding a lot of contrast and dropping the shadows. But yeah, it's a bit, I think just exposure overall. I think that's the only thing I'd actually say about this. But yeah, like I said on this live, the quality of images we've had through have been ridiculous. So this might not be long, but okay, right. We'll jump on to the next one. Right, Galaxy incoming, but if you're mid-range, it's alright, mate. Just send it through, and then as soon as I finish, whichever one I'm on, I finish, I'll jump onto it. Am I right in saying I'm terrible with names. You're the one with the dream Corvette, correct? Because if you are, this is when he's about to find out now that he was next. You're not. Oh yeah, this would be a chance for anyone to see if their images are in here. But I've definitely got the drifted Corvette. But I do appreciate you sending through the Galaxy, mate. Your support goes a long way. Helps me keep doing these. I have got it. I know I've got it because I saw that and I was like, I want that. But this is what I mean, though. Like you can see from as we're scrolling through the standard of pictures that have come through on tonight's one. Incredible. Yeah. Right, here's the bad boy. I know he was very excited about this one, and to be honest with you, so am I. So, which name do you want me to use? Whoever sent that raw of the tan interior of the 6N is talented. Yeah. Anyway, right. Not joking. I'm only joking. Okay, so I'll say Josh. Right, Josh from Tuxed. This is saucy. This is saucy. I saw this come through. I saw this when he sent it to me, and I saw it in the comments as well. You do like a good drift shot, and you do a lot of very good drift shots, mate. I'll give you that. Now, in terms of composition, this is spot on. Shutter speed, spot on. To be honest, even the color grade and edit you've got on it is bang on as well. Like, you've got it nice and moody. You've got a good use of mask there as well. The car just creeping out from the smoke, it just does that for me. Like, that's awesome. I think if I had to change anything, the only thing, and this is purely just because there's a moody edit on it, I would have just got rid of these people in the bright coats. They're not even that bad. Like, this is just being picky, But that's like, because you've got such a moody edit on it. And like, I'm obviously, my eye is drawn to the car, and then I catch myself looking up into these bits here just because of the bright coloured coats. But honestly, other than that, mate, this is, I maybe edit that out, but I don't even think you should, because it's a drift car. They're obviously getting, they're getting content while they're at it. But, mate, honestly, like, maybe that little bit on the floor there, but I'm being mega, mega picky here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to find something, but I can't find anything. Like, mate, this is really, really, really good. Really, really good. Like, the stuff, like, to be fair, mate, the stuff you've sent through have been spot on. But yeah, I think, in terms of little details, they do matter. I think it's just these little bits, and then just the people up here. Just like I said, my eye is drawn to the car, but smoke and the black car. And like the leading lines that go up to the car are working for me. It's just as soon as I look at the car, I then catch myself looking at the people up there in the brightly coloured coats. But that's it. I think, mate, other than that, I wouldn't change a thing. Like fair play. This is really, really, really good. Really good. Like, yeah, mate, I've got nothing. I haven't got a lot bad I can say about this. But no, definitely, mate, like, spot on stuff. Your drifting stuff is incredible. You'll have to start sending in something else so I can criticise you more. But no, really, really good, mate. Really, really good. But no, fair play to you. This is good, and I like your drifting stuff, and I look forward to seeing more of it. But yeah, try and send something else in so I can actually give you some sort of feedback. Yeah, we're on 48 submissions. He's got more source. Good stuff, mate. I want to see it. Where are we at? How do I send you mine? So, If you want to jump the queue, you need to send a Galaxy and then DM me the picture. If not, you'll just have to wait for the next live, unfortunately, which I don't actually have planned at the minute because I've got a couple of things on this weekend. So if you drop me a follow and keep an eye out, all the information will be there. It's very much you're just gonna have to kind of keep an eye on my posts because I'm only kind of one ahead really. I don't plan it too far ahead, unfortunately. Right. Nice little bike picture here at football edits _ IOM4546. So this is a good shot. You've got the bike nice and focused there. Good amount of motion blur on the wheels. I don't know if it's just the angle, but I would like to have seen a little bit more blur on the ground. But I think that's just the angle, really, so I'm not going to say anything there. But I think the only thing I'd say on this is just clean up these little bits. You know what I mean? I think like these little bits of wherever they are on the road is the only thing that needs kind of sorted. I think other than that, this is a really good picture of, I'm guessing, the Isle of Man TT. Because you've got the bike bang on. You've got the composition's really good as well. Because you've got the nice line going straight across the diagonal there. But for me, it's just these little bits, you know. Just these little bits. And that'd be spot on. I don't even think you need much masking or anything on this. It's quite clean, quite clean image. But no, really good. Just clean these bits up, I think. Josh, no, I don't think we've done yours yet, mate. People are sending Galaxies in to jump the queue, so we're not actually kind of chipping away through them that quickly just yet. Okay, right. At AJBK86. So this to me, like, apologies if it's not. It looks like a phone picture, but it is still pretty good. I think it's a bit long in terms of like its overall thing. It's a little bit long. The monument, I don't like. It's one of those things. I think the monument does kind of obviously have some significance, but I think without it, it would have been nice. But obviously the monument, I'm guessing they've probably like gone and taken the picture with the monument for a reason. So I'm not going to say anything about that, like just in case there was a reason for it. But it's just a bit long for me, and I would have just introduced a bit of masking across the bottom just to kind of draw some attention into the car again. And then I probably would have brightened up the car a little bit. You know, you got a nice bright sort of sunset going on in the background. I think the car just needs a bit more to really bring it out. I think in terms of exposure wise, all around here isn't too bad. I just think the car itself appears to be really dark, especially down the front bumper, front corner especially, but obviously the lights behind you, which is probably why that is. And is it center? Or what are we saying? Is it center? OCD with it not being center though, okay. Whole pic is underexposed. Yeah, I think overall it could do with a bit more. I'm worried you'd lose the color in the background there because it's clearly starting to go a bit orange. But I think like this part of the image downwards definitely needs some more exposure. But other than that, like, yeah, it's a pretty standard image. You know, it's pretty good. I think just change the crop, bring the shadows up on the car a bit, and then a mask at the bottom. I think to really draw some more attention into the car. But good front three quarter. Got the wheel turned the right way as well, which is really good. Lights on as well, which is really nice. But no, yeah, it's pretty good. I like it. Okay, with editing, you can keep the sky's color. Yeah, you could. I think like it's one of them where I think if you brought the overall exposure up, like as a blanket statement, you would lose the details in the sky. So I think for me, I would have brought up the exposure in this area only. At least then you haven't got to go and change the sky afterwards as a time-saving exercise anyway. I think they're in you, aren't they? Have I seen their name? Oh, he's beat me to it. He's beat me to it. Right. So at DP_photography29. First things first, it's already been said in the comments, you need to get my mate Phil on this, generative Phil, and I think just get rid of these signs would have been the big thing for me. And then you've got a good amount of breathing space around it, so I wouldn't, like, this bit over here is a little bit distracting, so normally I'd be like, yeah, just crop in, but I think you might lose a bit of breathing space if you did that. What are we saying? I think we would lose the breathing space, wouldn't we? But yeah, I definitely would have got rid of these signs. I think the color grade you've got on it is very nice as well. I think the only thing for me that bugs me is this part of the image at the bottom being a lot lighter than the rest of it. I know that's just a shadows thing. There's probably not a ton you can do about it. Yeah, that bugs me, to be honest. I like the leading lines with the tires though, but that's I don't know what to say about the lighting there. It's a bit of a tricky one, that having that kind of shadow line across there. I don't know whether it's one of those where you should have waited perhaps for the sun. It depends what time of day it is, obviously. For the sun to keep coming up or go down just to fill in the space. But it's still a very nice picture. Like, it is still a nice picture. But just the distracting signs there. Extend the building, as has been said in the comments. You could have extended the building maybe. But yeah, I think other than that, it's all right, you know? Like, it's just, yeah. Makes great contrast, yeah. To be honest, more dehaze on the marks, darker the windshield, yeah. I think that's an option. I do like these tyre marks. I do like the tyre marks. It's just this big bright patch at the bottom. Like, I know where I need to look, but my eye then, once I've looked at the car, I'm then drawn down to that. But the shadow is tough. Like that, yeah, like as I said in the comments, that shadow is tough. Like, that's a tricky situation to deal with. But like in terms of the situations, you've done very well. I think over here on the left is a little bit blown out in terms of its highlights, so perhaps a mask there to bring some highlights down. But no, other than that, mate, this is good. Dead straight on shot, you can't go wrong. Just distracting elements, which could have been easily edited out, I think is the main thing there. This you can't really do a ton about, I'd imagine, but yeah. All right, my night filter's just come on. We're going to turn that off. There we go. Right. Has anyone else ever done that? Been editing, looking at colours, and then your night filter comes on? Annoying. If I'm going blind, or does it need to be rotated? Yeah, you're going blind, mate. At DJ_no... That's not... Nah. I don't know what that means. No, I don't think so. I think it's the sloping of the sign that's putting you off there. But, right, at DJ_Nolan foam pick. Yeah. Do you know, even for a foam pick, though, I like this. Like... I will say what I have noticed. Everything is sharp on the Mustang. What I have noticed is a lot of the foam pictures that come through the comments do look over sharpened a lot of the time. So I don't... But yeah, I do think this is a foam pick. The biggest way you can tell usually is in the ground, can't you? Because that is like severely over sharpened. Because it's obviously the phones are trying to process details, aren't they? But as exactly as just been said in the comments at DJ Nolan, I think the sign is the only distracting element in this. But even then, to be honest, it kind of almost brings into the leading lines, you know. But no, I really like this shot, I think, to be honest. I'm struggling. Other than the pole, but then like I said, that almost contributes to it. It's a pretty good shot. Phone or not, you know. Like, it's a really, really good shot. They've picked sort of the right direction for the lighting as well. Don't know if that was by choice or by design, or if that was just by chance. Yeah, nice reflections, nothing distracting in terms of that. You know, obviously the wheel spin and the smoke helps the black car stand out. Clean background, you know, like there's nothing over there. There's not really anything on the ground. I think gives very 2010 rock bands, yeah, gives very 2010 rock band cover vibe, 100%. I think this in black and white, I know that's not 2010, but like, I think if it was black and white, it'd be good. The sky looks a bit off. I think that's just how it's come through. There's clearly a bit of vignetting going on, but nothing crazy. I think, yeah, it definitely looks like a... Yeah, black and white is more 1910, but I feel like if you put like a black and white filter on it, it might even be like more artistic, wouldn't it? You know what this is? This is like a Nickelback cover, isn't it? We just need parental advisory up here now, and this will be spot on, you know? No, I do like this a lot, to be honest. No matter what, like I said in the beginning, no matter what this was taken on, this is a good shot. But yeah, facts. Definitely looks like a Nickelback cover, doesn't it? No, I like this a lot. This is good. This is good. I'm not going to say too much about that. Right, at Josh Photos 1. That's not you, is it, Josh? Nickelback, yeah. Yeah, I think it just needs a Nickelback logo on it, doesn't it? I think that's what it needs. Not this one, but okay. Not mine. No, different Josh. Okay. Yeah, because I think I saw a few photos from you, but I don't know which one of yours I've actually picked. I think I've just pulled the first one. Don't know if that was the one you wanted. Sorry, car in center bar like this. Yeah, I think it's not even the car that's not centered that bugs me more than anything. It doesn't. I think what they've done, they've not with basically what at Josh Photos 1. With this, I think what's happened is they've not committed to either rule of thirds or being central. So if it was central, it'd be there. So the car would have needed to have been further forward. But I think it shouldn't be centered where the road leads to the scene. Yeah, I think for me, if this was cropped over to the left slightly, so you kind of just lost all of this, and the car was sat slap bang on the intersection on rule of thirds, you'd have good leading lines. The whole image would be a bit better composed. But I think, yeah, the car is not quite sat in the middle nor on the rule of thirds. But that's just a crop, you know? So that's not even a big thing, you know? Back from the dog walking. Did I miss myself? No, I don't think so yet, mate. I don't think so. But no, I think, you know, reflection-wise, it's not too... I mean, the back's a bit annoying, but the side isn't too bad. No, I think just change the crop on this. The sky is clearly, like, overexposed as well, but it's not, like... It's not that it doesn't not work. Obviously, I would have liked to have seen a bit more colour in the sky, because I feel like there could have been a very nice sky going on there. But no, I think the main thing with this is just the crop. And you got, like, yeah, I think, as I just said then, you know, you got a nice little flare going on with the sun poking through the trees there, and yeah, it needs a better... I don't actually think this has even got a CPL on it by the looks of it, like what I'm looking at. But no, like overall, it's generally a really good photo. I think just, yeah, reflections on the back are a bit annoying, which is what you need a polarizer for, and that's no, I didn't think so. yeah, you just need a polarizer for the back of the car there and just move the crop around a bit, really. But other than that, good, 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 good. That's Freddie. Is he in here? Come on, Freddie. You're normally in these things. Is he here? Probably not. But still like it with the reflections. Yeah, like, yeah, don't get me wrong. It looks good. Like, it's not one of them. It's not one of them I'm going to rip into too badly. Right. At Freddie N24. I've seen this shot about 1,000,000 times. But I do like it. This is at Refuel on their Renault day. Now, I normally am a massive fan of the selective color style edits where you basically pick one color to be in the image. But composition wise, it's not bad. I think it needs to move. See, like, right, this is where I think there's an exception to the rule here. I'd normally say you need an even amount of space both sides. This is slightly over to the right, to the left. But because the wheel is turned and they're clearly on their way out, it kind of like, I don't know, am I wrong? Like, let me know. But like, you know what I mean? I feel like it doesn't, I feel like if it was centered, it wouldn't have that motion about it. I know there's obviously not a lot of motion anyway, but like you can clearly tell someone's driving it and they're driving out of a meet. So I'm kind of like, yeah, it's like, I feel like it doesn't need to be in the center because it's clearly going somewhere. I think the selective color edit thing hasn't quite worked on this because I don't know what color this is meant to be. In terms of like, a lot of the red has gone purple. So for me, I'm kind of looking at it and I'm not actually sure if it's meant to be purple or red. So I think you would have been better off keeping it as the original colouring for this. What are we saying? This photo should have space between the fence and the car. It blends bad. In what sense? Because I know where this is and I know there is not a lot of space between the fence and the car. Does this have a look? The colour from the front to rear looks odd. Yeah, this is what I was saying just now. I feel like the selective colour edit hasn't worked on this. It's something I'm normally a really big fan of, but I think for this, it just hasn't worked. The ground reflect on the side needs colour. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like this, there's not enough of red, basically, to pull off this style of edit. The wheel doesn't look part of the car. It looks more like the background. Yeah, I'm confused. Or am I just being stupid? It looks like the image is fading and the wheels have been crushed. I get you. Yeah, there looks like there's additional contrast has been put in on the wheels. I think that's what it is. Is that what you meant? I mean, from point of taking the photo, so you can see the gap. I get you. But no, I think, oh dear, our mod has run away for a minute. It's all hell is about to break loose. Anyway, yeah, I think for me, I would have rather had seen this in full color. I don't think the selective red edit has quite worked. There's too much purple fading in and you've just got a few kind of totally desaturated areas because of the reflections. So I think the full color version of this would have been a lot nicer. But I like the composition personally. I like it kind of coming out with the meat, the wheel turned. Maybe would have liked, I would like to have seen some motion in the wheels, but I do know, obviously, knowing this venue, I know that it's not a fast coming out of there. It's slow, so it's quite hard to do that. But no, I think for this, you should stick to the full color version. I'm pretty sure I've seen the full color version as well, and I actually really liked it. But no, if I remember rightly as well, this was an incredibly bright sunny day. So yeah, but yeah, I would like to have just seen the full color version, I think. I can't read the name. It says your email's not found. I've been getting emails during this live, mate, so don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I'm getting emails during the live, so not sure what to tell you, unfortunately. Have you turned it off and on again? Is there anything I can suggest? What's going on? It is going on, yeah. Okay. G3CXO, TikTok live at gmail.com. The email's right in the description. So yeah, I'm not sure what to tell you, unfortunately. Troy? Right, let's jump on to the next one. At 2715. Again, bit of a long photo, but yeah, I would have just kind of cropped the photo in a little long. But these signs appear a little bit distracting, and the people are a bit distracting as well. So I would have just kind of maybe photoshopped them out. You've snuck your watermark in there quite nicely as well. And I would have probably desaturated the car, I think, because it's clearly a white car, but there's like yellow forming on it, which kind of just makes it look like, you know, like kind of old, not nice white. So I would have desaturated the car there, I think, just to, or at least the yellow side of it a bit, or maybe just turn the tint a bit more blue. But yeah, I definitely would have got rid of these distractions and got rid of the people, I think. But other than that, like, it's a nice low angle. You've got a nice reflection from the light on the wet floor. I think just get rid of the people, get rid of the signs, and yeah, desaturated and white blanket would have fixed the car. Yeah, completely agree. I think just desaturate all that yellow, get rid of all that yellow off the car so it looks fresh, you know what I mean? So it looks a bit more fresh. And there's some odd shadowing forming on the front bumper there as well, which I'm guessing is from people standing there. So the lighting is a bit off on that front bumper, but that's fine. I'll keep that one short. How are you doing? Not too bad, mate, not too bad. How are you? White balance, yeah. I thought when you said blanket, I thought you meant like two put like a mask on it or something. Okay, let's try and chip through some of these, shall we? Try and chip through it while the requests are quiet. Okay, at Ewan Cam X. Do you know, I love a snow photo. I love a snow photo, and I love a snow night photo as well. Because like you just get like, you know, with the brake lights just go all over the snow at the back. I love it. Love that. I think I would have liked to have seen this angle lower. I would like to have seen more kind of the back of the car rather than the top of it. I thought he wasn't a GTR fan. I wanted the blanket covering. I would remove the road and the sign. Yeah, I think, yeah. It'd be cool to kind of make it look like it's like a road to nowhere kind of thing, wouldn't it? Like, I know what you mean. So I think, yeah, the road and the sign I would have got rid of, and maybe all this going on down here. But and a lower angle would have been nice. But again, you know, you can't really do anything about that now, but you can edit these out and you can change all that. But no, I really like this. I love a snow photo. Love a snow photo. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say on that. I wouldn't even change kind of the color grade or anything on it. You know, it's fairly straightforward thing. But no, pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, I know what I'm going to say about that one. Okay, where are we at? I sent you Praga Bohemia in your mail. I'm not doing any extras in this live, unfortunately, unless there are gifts left. Specifically, and Galaxy. I've had a few in the fog, but kind of... Yeah, fog, to be honest, fog is tricky. Fog is really tricky, but when you get it right, oh, I sent you a while ago. This live is just going to be random ratings of pictures that were left in the comments. I'm not picking anything out, unfortunately. So no, we haven't done it. Bad phone photo. I mean, I think bad phone photo is probably a bit harsh. In terms of like the setting and everything, they've clearly got an eye in mind for it. So James Hall? 9. The biggest thing for me that bugs me on this more than anything is exactly as he just said, and I'm sure he's reading my mind sometimes. The wheel is pointing the wrong way. For me, the rule of thumb for me is the front wheels especially always need to be facing the face of the wheel needs to be facing the camera. So for this one, the wheel would need to have been straight so that the whole face of the wheel faces the camera. And yeah, all these bits on the floor need to be sorted out as usual. And then a bit of masking. The sky isn't too bad actually, but a bit of masking on the ground I think would be nice. And maybe just get rid of some of these bits in the background I think would be, yeah. And as has been said in the comments there, I think move to the left, show some more front of the car perhaps. But yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think there's just a few little tweaks that need to be made, but it's very, very close to being good. Like, it's good anyway, but it's very close to being very good. Because you've got some nice reflections going on. You've got some other things, like clearly got a lot going on in this picture that's very nice. I think it's just these things on the floor and the wheel face, really. Yeah, I think a couple of little tweaks would work really nice for this. Instead of front 3/4, this is more side 9/10. Yeah, email isn't working. Yeah, I'm getting emails now, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I appreciate the follow, Bradley. Thank you very much. Good set in a few tweaks, yeah. Interesting hearing how much thought goes into taking photos when you don't do photography. I suppose like when you're on an outside point of view, like you wouldn't know, would you? I feel like it's the same for photographers looking at other things, you know, like for me, for example, when I started out and I moved to videography, I did not realize how much I went into videography, you know. But no, yeah, it's a bit more than I thought. If I gift you, would you skip Galaxies? Yeah, Galaxies, skip the queue. Right. Car's too blue. Yeah, I agree. So, this is at Refuel as well. It's nice to see a lot of photographers local to Exeter send some stuff in, you know? It's really nice to see. So, at .vmjb. So, the biggest thing for me, that it's not the fact the car is blue, it's this, which I'm guessing is the 370Z, is in the way. I think that's the biggest thing for me that's in the way. So, I would have shuffled over to the right a little bit. Only a little bit. Just enough to get the back part of the wheel in, because the rear bumper kind of wraps around the back of that wheel enough anyway. So it just moved over a tiny bit. You can do in this situation about the cars either side of it, so you've just got to work around that. And I would have probably tried to take some of the blue and purple out of the car. I know there's a sunset going on, so the car will reflect it, but I think it's a bit too strong on this at the minute. But yeah, I think you just need to pan over to the right a little bit just to get the 370 out of shot, or at least not covering the wheel, and then maybe Photoshop the reflection out. But other than that, like, I do like this. I do like this generation of R8. I think this is the best generation of R8 in my opinion, the original. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that. Maybe some poles, get rid of some poles, little bits of distractions, but this isn't too bad. But yeah, just distractions, move over to the right a little bit, and just desaturate the car a little bit, really. That's kind of all I would say. Yeah, definitely the best, yeah. Where is that? Refuel. Steamer in Clumpton. Are you posting this tomorrow? Yeah, it'll either be tonight or tomorrow, but likely tomorrow. This is a phone pic if I've ever seen one, yeah. Now, I'll do this. So, at 2KZ Magic. Now, normally, I do say, if you're going to go with the lean, go for it. I think you might have gone a little bit too far with this. Only a little bit too far. But yeah, I kind of like, I'll be honest though, I do like I know it's a phone, and I don't know if there's any editing done to it, but I do like, you know, you've got a good amount of light on the front of the car there. The brakes are really lighting up red around there, around all the ground and the fence in there and stuff as well. I'm having to really tilt my neck to see this. And the phone has clearly caught the sky in nicely as well. It's just this big billboard that bugs me, and obviously the angle. I think I'm gonna have to like this whole reel I'm gonna have to like tip it back, you know. But yeah, I think the angle's a bit too much for me, and I would just got rid of the sign. So I know normally I say like, lean, if you're going to do the angle, do it. But I think we've gone too far the other way now. But no, other than that, it's all right, you know. Like I've seen worse. But yeah, I think it's just the sign and then the angle for me, I think personally. But yeah, you've really leaned in on the angle. Have you done mine? I don't know yet. You'll have to... Which car did you put in? I have an E46 and E60. How do I send them to you? So we're not... Basically, this is a car photography thing. So like, if you've got pictures of them you want rated in terms of the photography, then you'll have to kind of stay tuned for my next live. If you want to jump the queue now, then if you send a Galaxy, you can jump the queue now. Ferrari logo on the back of the car, silver and yellow. I don't think that made the cut, mate, unfortunately. I'm sure this was in the last live. So I've put this one in because... I'll tell you in a sec. Yes, E901 Rick. So... I wanted to put this in. I have already spoken to E901 Rick about the picture that he sent me, and I wanted to put this in purely to prove that he took the feedback on board straight away and that she went away, made the changes, and then sent it back straight away as well. So I just want to put that in, that he has actually taken the advice and gone and done something straight away to this, and this is 10 times better than the original one. So no, fair play, E901 Rick, like fair play. I'm not going to go, I mean, I can go through it quickly if you want, but we've kind of already done it. But yeah, I would have just maybe, it's the usual things, you know, just little bits. But no, overall, like compared to what the original image was, this is a lot better, mate. Like a lot better. But yeah, I think that's all I would have done. You know, I wouldn't have done too much else with this. So yeah, I'm not going to go into depth on the rating on this because we have already spoken about it in the previous live. But no, it's good to see that you've taken the feedback on board and sorted it out straight away, mate. Like fair play. Okay, what's going on? That's it for the next time. Thanks for responding. No worries, mate. Sorry you didn't make the cut this time. As you can probably see as we're going through this, there is that the standard of images that has come through to this tonight have been incredible. Like the standard has been so high. Like obviously there's some images coming through that, you know, but the one from GTA, did you do it? Posted it a few days ago in the comments. I don't think we've done that one yet. I don't know if it's in the cut either. I don't remember seeing one. If you want to jump the queue, then you can send a Galaxy to do so, but I don't know. Okay, right, let's crack on with this one. At Irvin.zky. Now, is it just me or is this not straight? So I can see the sea level behind it and it's not straight. So I would straighten out, but I feel like if you straighten out, the car's going to be tipping too much, isn't it? Now, if we do that. So I think, yeah, you need to find an even ground between the car being a good angle and the background being a good angle. So you need to find like a happy medium there, or you go into Photoshop and you correct the horizon angle or the sea level angle. But I know that's probably out of reach for a lot of people. So yeah, other than that, I think there's definitely a lot of detail being lost in these wheels. A lot of, like, the shadows have really been slammed down there, and it's really lost a lot of detail. And you know, these Porsches have massive brake calipers, and like you can see them there, huge red brake calipers, but they're just the whole wheels are just too dark. And I think, is it just me, or is this color look a bit off? I feel like it's meant to be red. Again, if this is the color of the car, I do apologize. But I do question the color on this. It looks like oversaturated red orange. Yeah, oversaturated, and like we're saying, losing a lot of detail. Yeah, and the exhaust as well, yeah. So I feel like, yeah, like the shadows have just been pushed too far down. So you've lost everything in the wheels there. And yeah, the exhausts and all down here, all these little vents under here, all up here, like you've lost all of this. So you really need to bring the shadows back up and maybe work on finding a happy medium on the angle between the sea level and the car itself. So, and perhaps maybe rein in a little bit of the saturation, I think. The only things I'm going to say to that. In mine yet? Yes, Freddie, we have. To cut a long story short, because I know yours is the Clio, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it's you, isn't it? Fred N EXE. Have you rated 2 bikes or Mustang yet? The Mustang doing the wheel spins. Hey, sorry, did I get in this one? It has a horse in it. Yes, you did, mate. Yes, you did, because you keep submitting bangers. Yeah, sure was. So basically, Freddie, to cut the long story short, the selective color edit didn't work, to put it incredibly bluntly. But I know you're a strong lad, you can take it. But I know you've got a full color version, so I think next time put the full color version in. I know what you were going for. It just didn't quite work because some of the red went purple, I think, something like that. But yeah, this will obviously get reposted, but that's to cut it short, basically. But no, definitely for that, submit the full colour one next time, because I've seen that one and I know it's better. Thank you. Has it been rated yet? Not yet, mate. No, not yet. Not yet. There she is. Gah. Gareth, you joined at the right time, isn't it? Okay, Gareth Jones _ X. So, like I said in the beginning of these, I'm going to ignore a lot of the quality things because I am well aware that TikTok does have a lot of impact on the image quality. So, this isn't quite sitting straight, I don't think. So in terms of like, is it horizon line or something like that it's called? It's not quite straight for me, so I would just have tipped it a little bit, and I would have just got rid of these people. But I'll be honest, like, I think when it comes to like a lot of these slammed cars and these bagged cars with the big wheels on, I do like this angle. Yeah, so just the same time as me, I do like this angle. It's very kind of max powery, very kind of noughties vibe, and I love this angle where you're like all the way down on the ground, super wide lens. But no, I like the angle. I like what we've done with the colours and everything. I think just straighten it out a bit more and just get rid of these people, really. There's some detail lost in the exhausts there, but I suspect that is probably TikTok doing it dirty. But Max Power hits the nail on the head, exactly. And especially with the flip wrap and the big wheels and stuff, this is a very Max Power inspired build, in my opinion. And I'd have just got rid of these shadows and these reflections, I think. But no, other than that, mate, this is good. I like this. Very 2000s vibes, as we're saying in the comments there. Very 2000s vibes. But no, this is good. But Gareth, this is good. Just yeah, get rid of those people, get rid of these reflections, and straighten it out. Okay. Right, what time are we on? Right, I'm gonna let you guys police the comments a little bit. You, my trusty lot. I'm gonna let you guys police the comments while I crack on with this. JDX official _ beats 28. Now, I know this is a Cosworth. I know it's a Sierra Cosworth, am I right? But I'm about to annoy every single Ford enthusiast on the planet. I want to know what's going on with this up in the background, because this looks slightly juicy, you know. Can you see the wheels and the tints, you know? I do like an up, so I kind of want to see what's going on, you know? Anyway, back to the Cosworth. Back to the cool car. Anyway, right, so it has to be a troll. I do like an up GTI. I don't care what anyone says. I love the up GTI. I think it's a wicked car. Right, but in this instance, it's in the way. So you needed to have got, I know it's a show photo, so it's quite tricky to sort things like this out if you don't have Photoshop, but all of this kind of stuff going on in the background can stay. But the young lad there with the umbrella would need to be Photoshopped out. This would need to be gone, and this bloke would need to be taken out, and that up GTI there would need to go as well. But it's a good angle, to be fair. It's a very good angle. It's a bit closely cropped, but I think a bit more breathing room, and just get rid of some of these distracting bits. It's clearly at a show, so I'm not going to like tell you need to Photoshop all this out as well. But no, it's just distractions on this, I think. The angle's good, everything else is pretty good. Maybe a bit of masking perhaps, like just to bring some attention into the car, but you need the breathing room to be able to do that. So no, overall it's a good shot, good angle, good colouring, good everything. Just get rid of these distractions and you'd be onto a pretty good picture there. And you're right, Phil, Generative Phil, he'd have a good day on this. He'd have a good day. At Apollo Optica, he's normally in on these, and I know where this is. These have been all over my feed. He's normally in these. He's not in here tonight. Oh, mate. What are we saying in the comments? What's going on? My Mustang 4 had a speed blurry background, and the Mustang was black. I don't know. I'm not sure if we're on to that yet. We definitely did a Mustang, but it was doing a burnout, so there's smoke all behind it. I don't think we've done any other ones. Yeah, so the photos were chosen before the stream. If you want it rated and feedback during the stream now, then you need to send the Galaxy to jump the queue. If not, you'll have to wait further instructions on my page for future lives. But yes, right, at Apollo Optica, he's normally in these lives, but he is not here tonight, so we can grill him as much as we want. I'm joking, we're not gonna, because this is nice. Definitely good use of foreground there. I'm surprised the TVR made it that far, and you're very brave to trust the TVR on that ramp. But the only thing that bugs me, and I know this is the ramp, because I've been there and I've been on that thing, but this not being straight bugs me, and this is just me being like picky. But I know that's the ramp, because the ramp, if anyone's been there knows, it's like, it's not quite level. But no, I like the colours. You've got a good, like the foreground is really nice, and you framed the car really well with the foreground, and looks like a 200mm or more. You're right, this is definitely a very long lens. A good amount of contrast on the car there. Oh, hurry. Long day. But that TVR handbrake is holding on like Hercules. You are spot on. But you know, actually, I think other than that up there, not being straight, I wouldn't change anything on this, I don't think. I don't know, like, am I not being picky enough? Tell me in the comments if I'm not. But like, I mean, just that reflection there, but that's just being mean, really, isn't it? But yeah, I would normally be like, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, just, you know, edit the play out, but even that kind of works. But no, yeah, the framing's good, the foreground's good, the coloring's good, the lighting's pretty good. Just that not being straight in the background, maybe that reflection. But other than that, yeah, wouldn't change anything else. It's a very clean pick, you're right, you are right. Do you go through all the cars in the comments or do you skip? So basically what I do is, this is the car photography live, so I go through and I pick whichever pictures I feel like I could give some constructive feedback on, or I just pick nice pictures basically. It's one of them. What do you do with the pictures that don't get rated? So if they don't get rated in this live, unlucky, that's the only thing I can say. I don't do anything with them. They just go in the bin. Right, I'm going to do this one, and then I need to swap the battery out on the camera because I still haven't bought a dummy battery because I forgot. So we're still running on a normal battery, so bear with me, and I'll swap that out because I can see it's about to go. So at Paul Oliveira 1716. See, I quite like this, you know. I quite like this. You know, it's nice front 3/4. You got the sun peering through the trees in the background. I'm yawning a lot. Yawning a lot. You know, I don't know if there's masking going on there, but like you got natural kind of darkness flowing from there, which is nice. I don't know what this is. I actually probably would have got rid of that, you know, wherever all this is. Looks like an old building of some description. But I would have got rid of that, because I think that would have kind of cleaned up the photo a little bit. It just made it look like you're in the middle of the woods. And then perhaps there's a little footpath behind it. But this is a very unique location. It's quite cool. But, and you know, you've obviously got rid of the plate. You've made the car nice and bright. I think, yeah, like, to be honest, yeah, I'd have come in slightly, but being wary of breathing space, yeah, you probably could have got a bit closer. I think it depends what you're using the picture for, don't you? Yeah, the rock bales, and yeah, that's what I mean. I think all of this, you can see my mouse, can't you? Yeah. All of this, I think, it'd be better if you just got rid of it, I think, and just created almost like a woodland thing, you know? But other than that, you know, front 3/4, nice, bright, the car's nice and bright, sun's peering through. I don't know if there's masking going on, but it looks like there is. But no, it's good. I like it. I like it. I wouldn't change anything else, really. Right, I'm just going to switch the battery out before we get onto this one, because I don't have a dummy battery yet, and I need to swap the batteries out. So bear with me. Keep yourselves entertained in the comments for a second while I sort this out. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. I'm still here. I am just an idiot who doesn't own a dummy battery that I can plug into the mains. So everyone bear with me. I'll get this to come back now. Okay, let me just cover that up so it I don't think it's coming back. Okay, normally this does the trick. There we go. Right, we're back, people. My apologies. Woo, here we come. Right, we're back. I need more batteries. It's not even battery. It's not even that I don't have enough batteries. I just don't have... I either need a battery grip so I can run 2 batteries at once, or I need to get like a dummy battery that will just constantly power the camera. Okay, right. Okay, where are we? What's going on? I don't know if you did mine like 2 lives ago, but my phone died before I saw it. I don't remember seeing your name on anything, but all my previous lives are up on YouTube, so could be worth having a look. Okay. But yeah, all the lives get reposted on YouTube, but with all the pauses cut out, so you're not sat here for like 3 hours. If it's silver BMW 91, I don't think so. Do you rate pedal bikes as well? I think you asked me this in the comments earlier, didn't you? Anything with an engine. I don't mind doing motorbikes. I'm not known for photographing motorbikes. I do motorbikes. Right, at Gas Paul. Yeah, I think everyone in the comments can agree. I don't know what you want me to give you feedback on, really. Yeah, can someone in the comments give me something that I can give them feedback on? Because I know you say number plate, but I wouldn't take that out either because it says CGT on it. So at Gasport, this is a banger. This is banging. Carrera GT, nice little road like that. You know, there's clearly been some spinny boys going on as well to bring leading lines in. Good amount of motion blur, car's nice and sharp. Tiny little bit of flare off the lights there, which is nice. I haven't got a thing bad. Mwah. Double chef's kiss. I've got nothing bad to say. Yeah, nothing bad to say about this. So this is going to be short. I've got nothing to say. I don't even think anyone in the comments has got anything to say. So yeah, this is spot on, mate. This is an incredible poster-worthy picture. Yeah. No, fair play. Well, gift I need to skip the queue. A galaxy and black dot sitting on the left. Do you mean this? Because that's leaves. Yeah, they're the leaves. Yeah, that's literally it. I wouldn't even ping them on that because that's clearly just... I don't know if it's coming through on there. I know what you mean. Like looking on the screen there, it looks like a dot, but it is leaves. because there's a couple of them, but I don't think they've come through well. Okay, so my bike photo won't be rated. No, they won't. Anything with an engine, basically. Even if it's a lawnmower, I'll rate it. This is like a Forza cover. You're right. This is like a Forza cover. So I love these like single roads that go through like wooded areas. You know. Now I think yeah, this is good. This is good too. You know. I think the only thing that bugs me is the reflections across the bonnet, but I've been in these situations and I know how tricky it is to not get those reflections. Even with circular polarizers and everything, it's just the forest situation. It's just, yeah, like you're saying, there's not really much that you can do about it. You can spin the sail as many times as you want. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes you can't get rid of them. It's just a lighting direction and reflection thing. I think maybe losing some detail in the wheels there on the back, but again, that's been really, really, really critical. And, actually, no, I haven't got anything else to say. No. This is what I was saying. Like, a lot of the pictures we've had through, it's definitely going to get better as we go on. But we've had some absolutely spot-on images come through, to be honest. Like, some really, really good ones. But no, I've got nothing to say. Nothing bad to say again. Yeah, okay. I've only just started getting into car photography. Look at this. I feel like I've got a lot to learn. Mate, you don't, like, you can get very, 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 very far on just the basics. You'd be very, very surprised. And I'll be honest as well, like when I look at these, we get a lot of really good photos through and I'm trying to be critical of them. It's not a case of like, I'm trying to pick them apart. I'm trying to give them constructive feedback. It doesn't matter what stage you're at. It's just one of those where like tonight, like if you go look at the comments, the standard of imagery we've had through has just been incredibly high. But no, mate, you don't be discouraged by this. If that is a discouraging kind of message, don't be discouraged. But yeah, you can definitely narrow some stuff down. You can, to be honest, I think like it's one of those where as long as you learn the settings, the basics of manual settings, you will get very, very far. Like you can get really far with just that. Shadows and CPL on this one, I agree. I think if we had a CPL there, you'd have had a nicer kind of balance of reflections across the car, and the shadows are just burying things a little bit, especially across the front bumper. But other than that, this is quite nice actually. The sky's really nice. Sun peeping through there as well is really good. You know, as far as like rollers go, this is alright. But yeah, I think the shadows there are kind of just a bit buried there. And a circular polarizer would have been nice on the top. But again, good composition, you know, over in that right hand side third there. Everything in the background is far enough away that it's not really distracting. No, yeah, it's a good pick, but it's sad that everything other than the car is exposed well. Yeah, I think it's what I think just needs bringing up. I think this could be fixed in the edit, you know? Yeah. This is the GTA pick someone was talking about, isn't it? Where you gone? Where have you gone? Oh, we've got another galaxy through. Okie dokie. Right, let's get on it. At Kane, fire it through to me, mate. Fire it through and we'll get onto it right after we've done this one. I'll get it sent straight over to me and we'll get on with it. Is this Los Santos? I think this is, because someone did say something about a GTA picture, so yes, definitely. If he's in here, we'll do it quickly. Yes, Caden, if you appreciate the gifts, mate, if you fire the pictures through on TikTok, I will pull them up in a second. I'm just going to jump on this one because as an image now, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to say anything about it being GTA or a game or anything like that. Like, that's not what I'm here for. But from an image perspective, I think, yes, it's clearly like GTA's equivalent of a skyline. This is just all a little bit too dark there. I know you want the lights to show, but this just needs to be brought up a little bit. You know, clearly like nice background, sun coming through, everything like that. I perhaps maybe would have brought the car up into this area of the image, if that makes sense, like overall. But no, I mean, nice leading line there, leading line there, leading line there. Good scenery, you know. I know it's a game, but yeah, I'm surprised the sky looks that good. Yeah. And sun coming through. Like, you know, as far as like an image goes, this, like, if this was on camera, everyone would be screaming wow. So yeah, I'm not gonna take away from that. But no, I think it just needs more lighting down here, I think, really, for the car itself. Or I would have liked to have seen a bit more of the side of the car where it's reflecting the sky. That's it, yeah. Unless anyone else has got anything they want to pitch in on that, I haven't really got anything else to add. But I'm going to pull up Kane's pictures now. Thank you very much, Alex, as well. If you send your pictures through to me on messages on TikTok, and I will jump on them right away. Let me just save these. Swear I can see my GTA mansion from here. Probably. Okay, let's get on this. Okie dokie. Okay, so we got Kane's being opened in a second. Okay, and Alex, if you send... Is he watching this? Is he? Yeah, Alex, if you send your pictures to me on TikTok, on the messages on TikTok, I will get onto that right after we've done Kane's, if that's okay. Let me add these in. There we go. Right. No, well done. Right, we'll start with that one. Start with this one. So, Kane Reeves. Yeah, you sent that. Wicked. Right. Right, at Kane Reeves. So, I quite like this one, you know. I actually really like this one. I think, like you saw when I did, because we spoke to Kane earlier and we edited one of his pictures for him on this afternoon's live. And as you saw when I did it with the previous kind of a dump truck picture, we brought in some masks top and bottom, and we did that just to draw more attention to things and to kind of almost amplify the sky as well, because the sky is clearly like the main star of the show. So I would have perhaps tried to really amplify this pink red streak on there and the reflection where it's like reflecting on the clouds. And I would have brought in some masking down here, but I actually probably wouldn't have changed much else on this. I think as far as like a working image goes, where you're working while doing this, you've got another truck coming up, you've got this one unloading. It looks like there's another one down here as well. But yeah, I think the dump truck one was the only one I was able to see earlier. Yeah, I think so. I think that was the only. I think you jumped on while we were doing that. But I actually, yeah, to be honest, I actually wouldn't change too much about this. I think you've done a really good job of catching this. And it's nice to see there's not a massive amount of haze around the lights you've got as well, like we saw on the previous image today. But no, it's good to see you've got, like, as a working image, I think this is really, really nice. Good amount of negative space as well, because I feel like you could easily squeeze in like company logos and things over here. So no, mate, to be honest, it's actually, yeah, it's quite good, to be honest with you. Sean, it's the Bath Panda Man. Love your photography, great to see you far. Thank you, mate, appreciate it. Bath Panda is long gone, though. That thing is dead and gone. It's currently in pieces in a workshop in Cheshire. By pieces, I literally mean they cut the chassis in half. Yeah, right. On to another one of Kane's. Another one of Kane's. Now, is F31 Black in here? Because he sent one quite similar to this not long ago, but it involved Porsches, not dump trucks. Now, I actually quite like this now I'm looking at it. I think this would have definitely benefited from some sort of color grade. But, you know, the background's nice and blurry. You've caught the rear kind of quarter of the dump truck. A bit of dirt on the, bit of dirt on the mirror as well. Again, as like a working image, this is really, really nice. I think it could have benefited from a color grade, like 100%. But no, mate, this is good. You've clearly got a good eye for this. Like, I'll be honest, you have got a good eye for this. From based on all the images you've sent in, like, I wonder how this one would have looked in black and white. That is a good question. That is a very good question. I think this could have looked good in black and white. But no, I think, yeah, he's a bad man for not cleaning these motors. now, children. But no, mate, honestly, like, I wouldn't change nothing about this. I would just perhaps I'd have put a color grade on this for me personally, but other than that, I wouldn't have changed anything. Like, you very clearly have an eye for this, mate. So fair play. Yeah, I've got nothing else to say to you, mate. Nothing else to say. Right, Alex ITK. Which one do you want me to do, mate? You've sent me a rear shot and a front three-quarter. Which one do you want me on? Just take them on my phone when I see a chance. Yeah, mate. I think, to be honest, I do think proper gear in your hand would be good. I think maybe when we get your shoot sorted out, you can have a go with some of mine, perhaps, just to see how you feel with it. See what pictures you get, you know? Right, I've got your front three-quarter. Let's get that up on screen. That'd be great. Yeah, mate, I'm no stranger to letting people have a crack with my camera. It's all part of the fun, innit? Okay, let's open this bad boy up. What have I done? Oh, I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done at the minute. Bear with, people. Bear with me. Why is that deleted itself? Oh, hang on. Couldn't load preview source. What do you mean you couldn't load preview source? Right, okay. Bear with me. It's still there. Why is it? Oh, have I just closed all those pictures down? I think I have. Okay. We're on the GTA picture. I remember that much. So we're going to have to pull it back up in a minute. Right, where are we at, people? Where are we at? Right, at Alex ITK. So let's have a look. First things first, CPL. Definitely need a circular polarizer. Quality's looking, yeah, to be honest, what happens is, like with TikTok, obviously the quality does get lessened. I'll be honest, on my screen right now, this actually looks pretty, like, it looks really good. I don't know if it's just where it's up there, it's not quite looking right. But on my screen right now, it actually looks quite good. So yeah, I think first things first, circular polarizer, which would have got rid of all of the reflections across the front there, and actually would have looked very uniform with what's going on the side of the car, because you've got like a clean reflection there. So I think if you had a circular polarizer, that would have covered a lot of the front for you. So I think looks like you've got a mask going on at the bottom, a linear gradient, but I would have made that even stronger to draw more attention to the car. And perhaps I would have photoshopped out the plate. The Audi grills really suit being like without plates. So I think, yeah, I would have got rid of the plate. So I think CPL plate masking just to bring more attention into the car. And yeah, I think stronger mask And yeah, to be fair, maybe a little bit more of a color grade on it, but even then, that's your style, isn't it? You know, that's your preference. But to be honest, mate, I wouldn't do anything. Like, you've got the wheel turned the right way, a good front 3/4 angle, lights on as well, the daytime running lights, because they're mean on the Audis, you know. But yeah, to be honest, mate, I wouldn't. It's a good shot, you know. Maybe change the crop a little bit because you've got a bit more room on the front. So perhaps would have just come in a little bit. But no, I think the biggest thing for me is circular polarizer. That's the biggest one. So yeah, circular polarizer on the front, and you would have been sorted out. But I think that's the only thing I'd have changed on this, mate. Maybe the crop, but yeah, the rest of it is like personal preference, isn't it? Like, you know, the masking and color grade. But yeah, mate, to be honest, it's a good shot. That's all I'm gonna, yeah. But yeah, definitely have a look at those circular polarizers. Like, you know, I've got one for my phone. I've got one on the cameras. They're well worth it. They're well worth it. Right. I'm probably gonna have to pull up all these pictures again because it's just closed itself down on me. Okay, we were on the GTA picture, weren't we? Okay, right. How many we got left? 20 left. 20 left. We can get through these, people. We can get through these. Right, let's close this. Close that bad boy down. Full screen this one. Okay, right. No capture. We're going right. Okay, right. Well, to be fair, the quality of the Audi pic. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think it's TikTok Studio, isn't it? It's one of them. Like, there's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. Definitely going to invest more. Thanks. Not a problem. How many photos from the comments did you pick? I picked about 50 in the end. So we'll get through as many as we can get through. I'm not sure. I've probably got about half an hour left before I actually need to go. So we'll try and get through these as fast as possible. But yeah, what I may end up doing is politely skipping through some of them and perhaps trying to favour those who are in this live and actually watching it live. It's not something I normally do, but see what happens. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna crack on through some of these as much as I can. If people could police the comments for the newcomers, that would be great. I need to go back there. Need to go back. Right. At Matask_8601. Good shot, good composition, good lighting, obviously being in the dealership there. I don't know if you've got a circular polarizer on these, but I know those lights are usually quite strong. But it would be nice to see the front of the cars without that white reflection all over it. And I think the biggest thing is these poles. I think if you got rid of those poles, you'd have been good. But no, on that, pretty good. Pretty good. Where are we at? Okay, right. Callum Waring, I know you was watching this. I like this a lot, hence why we're on this one. I like this a lot. It's incredibly clean. Good use of foreground with the horse, obviously. And then you've got the car in the background there. I think if I was to change anything, I'd have cropped in a little bit, just so that the image is more balanced in terms of what's going on here and here. Because you've got like the horse there, the car there, and then nothing there. So I would have just brought the crop in so that you've got the horse and car in, and then that's the balance of the image. But other than that, this is perfect. I think it's only the crop I'd have changed. I wouldn't have gone too stylized on the color grade and edit because it's a classic, you know, it's a very classic scene, so you don't want to do too much. I think in black and white this might work. I'm a sucker for black and white, but I'd love to see this in black and white and with a bit of a cleaner crop, really. But I think other than that, I wouldn't change anything else. You are watching it. Good stuff, mate. Absolute bangers as always. I think you just need to change the crop, mate. To be honest, that's it. Okay, so yes, if you're joining on TikTok or you're on YouTube, we took a short break last night. I had to run off and I had to go do something. So yeah, we're picking up where we left off. So if the lighting looks different, that's why. But we're just going to carry on as normal. So at CRKYX.X, we were just talking about this in the comments actually, about the bronze wheels. Now, as far as an image goes, I rate this a lot. I love what you've done with the colours and the moody skies. There's clearly some masking going on down there. Perhaps even more of a mask would have worked in the sky because it's clearly like a really moody sky. And my little pet peeve, you've nailed it there. You've got the badge the right way around. But I like the little bit of an angle. I like the wheel turned. And the colour grading on it is pretty good as well. To be honest, I don't think I'd actually change anything on this. It's very much like reminds me of a lot of shots I've done of wheels, really. So I maybe turn the wheel more to show that blue caliper behind it. But even then, that's negligible, you know. But no, I like this. That's a short one. Yeah, I like it. Ooh, that's tasty. Can anyone see the problem with this? Can we see what the problem is here? So, at Daniel Bogasan, I'm sorry if I say that wrong. No, I think there's a bigger problem going on there. That's a Porsche, isn't it? So, I think contextually speaking, this isn't working. So, for me, Yeah, that's a Porsche, isn't it? I'm not being silly. Yeah, so for me, I would have got rid of the McLaren logo there because that's not a McLaren, and the plug in the wall there and there. But other than that, I actually quite like this. I know it's a little bit dark, but it's quite moody looking. But no, I think dead straight on shot. Everything is fairly center, or actually really center. But I would have got, if you got rid of this McLaren logo and got rid of those plugs there, this would have been really, really good. But that's the only thing I'd actually change. I think composition-wise, lighting-wise, obviously is very nice, very symmetrical, very dead center. So I think, yeah, for me, the only thing I'd actually change is I'd get rid of that McLaren logo up the top, and I'd have got rid of these leads here. But that's it. Like I said, lighting's good, coloring's good, everything else is really, really good. So I'd change. Again, another short one. Okay. At John Park 98. Is that the Valkyrie? Valhalla Valkyrie that was in Bristol? That looks like the same colour. But no, I think this is genuinely a very, very... Yeah, Valhalla? I think so. This is genuinely a very, very nice image. You've got a good use of foreground there with the spoiler, but you've changed the angle just enough to get the whole Aston Martin badge in, which is something a lot of people miss. You know, when you use foreground, you want to make sure, especially with logos and stuff, that you move out of the way enough that you keep logos intact. And exhaust poking out there, nice, good use of the colour in there. To be honest, there's nothing I'd change. This is what we were talking about yesterday, right? The overall standard of imagery that has come in on this one was really, really high. So a lot of these are probably going to be quite short. But I wouldn't change nothing, to be completely honest. I don't think there's anything needed. The paint's red on the right and orange on the left. Yeah, it's that. There's one of these in Bristol and it's flip paint. We did a picture of it before on another live. It's one of them that it's very pearlescent. So it will literally be, that is genuinely probably how it looked. But no, it's a flip paint color. It's really cool, to be fair. But no, really, really nice. Nothing I'd change. Oh, yes, I remember this one. So here's a question I want to put out there. What do people think about these lens filters that you can get that do all these cool things? It's very different and I really like it. It's one of them that when done right, it's really good. Now, this is from CR_photography 3. We had him on a previous live and he does a lot of retro cool stuff. So it's nice to see some of the artistic flair kind of coming in here. This is one of them again. The standard that we've had through on this one is incredibly high. So I think for me, the only thing that I would change is I would just Photoshop these people's feet out. That's it. There's nothing else I'd change. The car is, the angle's lovely. You've got the whole front end in. You've got this really cool filter thing going on, which I really, really like. I'd love to know what filter that is. If you wanna share with the group, that would be really, really good. But no, I just get rid of the people's feet. Use my mate Phil on that. Generative Phil. I think that's it. Coloring wise, lighting wise, angle wise, everything else is really, really nice. This is what I'm saying. The standard that we've had through this time around is so high that these are going to be quite short. I want to say this is from. We've had a picture similar to this. It looks like it's from the same show. Rocky yesterday with the yellow Lamborghini. I think I've seen that amongst this. So we're just picking up from yesterday's live at the minute because I had to cut it short. So we're just picking up from yesterday's live. Love the fact I kept the factory two-tone. Yeah, it's a very nicely modified kaleidoscope filter. I'm not sure. I'm sure he has joined a lot of these in the past. So we'll ask him or I'll drop him a message and find out. But I think I have reached out to the company that makes them, or the company I'm aware of that makes them, just try and sort something out, but they've not answered. Someone not pay their lecky bill on this one. I actually need to check what mine's on. Okay, Luca_Luca. Now, I think composition-wise, this is really nice and clear all around the car. There's a lot of breathing room on this, but the car looks a bit high up, in my opinion, so I would have changed the crop a little bit just to cut some of this out. But like I said, normally I'd be edit this out, edit that out. But because it's at a show, I don't think you need to. It's nice to see all the people around. I think we had a picture from this show earlier in the live or yesterday's live. And it was the same thing there. I think this image they're just a bit dark. They need the overall exposure needs bringing up just to preserve some details down the bottom there. And to give the color a bit more oomph. You got a really bright green Ferrari in the background there and a bright blue Lamborghini. You really need to use those colors to really help the picture stand out. So I think overall composition is really nice. Just need to change the crop a little bit to center it more. There's not many distractions at all, and I think you just need to bring the brightness up overall and perhaps add a bit of more vibrance or saturation to the colors of the cars just to really bring them out. But other than that, yeah, that's all good. I wouldn't change anything else. Prepay meter buzzing in the background. I am literally still on one of them. We've tried to get a smart meter and direct debit everything set up, and they just said no. they were like, no, we can't get anyone out to fit it or something. So what can you do? So yes, I've still got I still got a little key, and it does buzz downstairs. It's incredibly annoying. I swear I recognise where that one is. Yeah, it's a Modern Warfare map, innit? Nah, I'm joking, I don't. It's cool though. Love these little VW ups. So at VW Up Air Ride, I wonder where that name came from. Cool car, definitely. Cool car. Do like these little ups. Cool background as well. I'll be honest, like, this is one of those ones where it's obviously a phone image, which is fine. I probably wouldn't change anything, you know. Like, I'd like to see maybe a little bit of a more stylized color grade on it, like a bit more of a color grade influence on it. But I think other than that, perhaps a little bit of masking down the bottom just to draw more attention to the car. But other than that, like, this is just a dead side profile. You can't go wrong with a dead side profile with an interesting background as well. Very interesting background. As the chat is saying, we'd love to know where this is because this is quite cool. But no, I mean, would anyone else change anything? Because for me, I think as far as a phone image goes, you can't really go wrong with this. Maybe arguably it's a little bit tall, but, you know, yeah. Again, like I said, very good images coming through, so there's not much I'd change. Definitely add a mask at the bottom and perhaps change the color temperature just to make things a little less blue. But other than that, dead side on. Can't go wrong with a side profile. 360 no scope is how you got this shot. Right. Now, this technique is something I'm seeing a lot of, and I've done it myself as well. I really, really like it. A lot of people seem to not like it. So this is, I believe, is called shutter drag. And it's essentially where you take the picture and then you spin the camera. Some people like it, some people hate it. I quite like it, but I like it when the car is lit up. So for me, had the car more lighting on it, and you would have kept all the details of the car, and then you would have had these blurs from the lights and stuff in the background. So at Chibi Car Cruisers, for me, love the shutter drag thing. Really like it. It's definitely, as we're saying in the comments, it's very hard to get right. And it's a very Marmite thing that some people love, some people hate. You've definitely picked the right location for it. You just need the car lit up a bit more, I think, to really bring the car into it. But no, I do like it. I do like it. You know, you got the composition right. I think I would just like to see the car lit up a little bit more, I think, for me. Just to really preserve, because when you light the car up, when using shutter drag, you preserve a lot more sharpness in the car. So yeah, I think I would have just lit the car up here. That's the only thing I would have done different. I like the edit. I like the composition. I like the shutter drag. Yeah, I'd just changed the lighting on the car a little bit, really. That's it. Again, another really good image we've had through. You know, tried that before. It's very finicky. Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. Like, I tried it and it took me about, I want to say I was there on the shoot, and it probably took me an additional half an hour on the shoot just to try and get it right. But it was probably, I'm trying to think how to describe it. Like, I've done fake shutter drag a lot, but yeah, it is very easy to make it look really, really bad. But yeah, hello F31 Black, how are we today? Convenient that you pop on when there's a BMW touring on the screen. Right, let me just have a... Oh, right. Yeah, we're just picking up from where I had to cut off the live yesterday because I had to shoot. So I practice more, I'll be able to get it down. Yeah, shutter drag is definitely one of those things that you've really got to practice. Like, I think for me, it was like, I knew the principle of it. Like, obviously doing a lot of night stuff and a lot of light painting and things like that. I very much knew how to achieve it. I just never went out and done it. But no, it's definitely something you can go and like do. You just gotta practice at it. Got me interviewed 3 hours. Good luck, mate. Good luck. I hope it all goes well. Right, let's get on to the next one. At IwanCamX. Again, this is just purely a reflection on the standard of work that we've had come through across all the comments on this live. You know, I don't know, I maybe had a bit of masking at the bottom there, but even then, I don't know if that'd actually suit this. The car is maybe perhaps a tiny bit blue, but the sky is obviously blue, so it's obviously reflecting the sky, so I maybe would have just desaturated the car a little bit just to really make it pop. But, you know, other than that, I don't think I'd have changed anything on this. Like, I don't think I'd change anything. Like, the sky, you got good colour on the sky, good amount of clouds going on there, like nice and dramatic clouds. And then front three-quarter composition, I think perhaps maybe a little bit more breathing room around it would have been nice. It also would have been nice to see a lower angle, but even then, that's just personal preference. I don't think I'd have changed much on this, to be honest. Nice little flare off the sun there. Clean reflections. Yeah. I think I just would have liked to have seen a slightly lower angle, but that's just me. I do like a low down angle. But other than that, I don't think I'd have changed anything on this. It's a really good image, just a bit of breathing room and a slightly lower angle. That's the only thing I can say on that. Ooh, this is interesting, isn't it? B46 Tour in this peak here. Okay, right. At late 04. Love the angle. Love the angle thing. You've got that just right, I think. Nice wide angle. And it really leans into the car as well. Like, I think, yeah, giving max power cover shot vibes. You know, you've leaned it on the angle. Nice wide lens. 90s, noughties, Merc. Am I right in saying? So it's the right era to do this with as well. I think the only thing for me is there's a lot of distractions in this. 90s, Merc, thank you. So, yeah, there's a lot of distractions in this. So I think all these little white dots on the floor, I know that's picky, but trust me, I think that'd make a big difference. And this sign in the background is the biggest thing for me that's bugging me. And that lamp up there. So good old generative fill on that. I think would have done you some pretty good. And I'd almost argue perhaps the sky and that window up there is a bit overexposed. So I would have liked to have seen that a little bit reined in a tiny bit. But I don't think there's much else, you know. Like we just said in the comments, it's very much max power vibes on this. So yeah, I really like it, to be honest with you. I really like it. Yeah, I think just clean up some distractions, I think, is the only thing I'd say on this that really needs doing. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, a lot of these are going to be very short because there's not much I can say on a lot of them because they've all been, like, really good. I made one more bit. I would have liked, is there a polarizer being used on this? Because I've just clocked all the reflections on the bonnet and the window. I know you probably want reflection on this, but I think the front of the car is being sacrificed for this. So I think that's where you probably could have used a tripod, perhaps, and merged, you know, 2 rotations afterwards. Yeah, 190 evolution. Yeah, it does look like it. Can you do it? No, we're only doing images. This is basically we're picking up from last night. I had a load of pictures sent in, so we're jumping on them now. Send you a picture in your mail. Cool. What do you want me to do with that? Yeah, some good stuff in amongst this. There's some good stuff in amongst this. Right, this is another topic I want to bring up, and I want to hear what people say about this. What are people's thoughts on these Porsches, these RWB Porsches? Because obviously there's been a lot of, I've noticed ever since the bloke, whatever his name, I can't remember his name, came to the UK and started doing these builds in the UK, there's been quite an increased amount of questioning regarding the standard of his work. Discuss. I've had a few biscuits, but it's all right. We're on a biscuit day. Yeah, but I'm keen to see like what people think about it because I've seen so many different things. Like everyone's obviously saying it's a bit of a hack job and stuff, like, which is what I've seen. But I've always loved the WRB. Yeah, I think I'll be honest with you. For me, I like them. I like them a lot. I think they're really cool. But I've seen a lot of interesting comments come through the grapevine. Now that was the only decision for picks that caused Love and Purist to cry, but they are, yeah, I like them. I think I do like them. Seen the questions come from the clip where he just glued a bit on for the shoot, and then yeah, I think yeah, I've seen a few things where it's like, yeah, they're questioning his work and stuff, and I'm sort of like I look at some of it and I'm sort of like, I don't really see what the I've seen some of them. I'm like, I don't really see what the issue is. At the end of the day, it is a fiberglass kit, isn't it? So I'm like, it's, what do you expect? And yeah, like we said then, it's the owner's decision. Like, you know, like, I don't think personally for me, like if I was in the world where I could afford these kind of Porsches, I don't know if I could do it to a clean Porsche. I think that's where a lot of the purists get annoyed. For me anyway, I couldn't, because I do like the original Porsches a lot. So I don't know if I could do it to one that didn't have crusty arches and stuff, but that's just me. But exactly, yeah, a damaged one, or one that's got like some crusty arches on it, or one that's not perfect, absolutely cut away. You know what I mean? You are, because then you are doing both preventative maintenance and you are improving it, because by cutting it away you can then reseal it, and yeah. But he does everything by hand and by eye, and you could never expect. No, exactly. And I think that's the difference, is like, I think a lot of people are expecting perfection from something that's hand built, clearly hand built as well, not done in a factory. But no, I thought that was just something interesting we could bring up while I eat some biscuits. Okay, so spectral picks. I like the angle. I like having the car. I've always been a fan of cars leaning down slightly as well. I'll be back after this appointment if you're still. Yeah, I will see you soon. Everyone, the moderator is leaving, so kick off. Do what you want. It'll be on him. I'll fire him. I'm joking. Hope everything goes alright, mate. Skip mine if it comes up, okay? So, yeah, I like the lighting. This is clearly like broad daylight, which is very tricky to shoot in, but it seems to hit the car nice, to be honest. I think having those like big arches and stuff as well really kind of creates some lower shadows, which is nice. I like this ramp thing. That's quite cool. I think the people there can, you know, some of these people could definitely have been photoshopped out, in my opinion. I know it's at a show, but, you know, and I would have probably got rid of this little footpath down here and just kind of continued the grass, if that makes sense. But other than that, again, this is a really good image. I love the cars. I love it when cars are like leaning down. I think a lot of people will see on like photos where there's hills involved. I do like having the car leaning. But again, for the conditions, you've done an incredible job with this. And I think, yeah, again, another one where I wouldn't really do much, but that car is lovely in that color as well. It's really, really nice. Ooh. Oh, nice. I also love that he's doing everything one-handed. Yeah, he's always, he's always smoking, isn't he? If I sent a couple, it would have taken long for them to get reviewed. If you sent them in now, you'd be waiting until the next live. So what I do is I put a post out once a week, and I ask for pictures that we can go through, and I pick the ones that we go through either by random or sometimes by choice. It's very kind of hit and miss. And yeah, I review the ones I've downloaded. If you want to jump the queue, you can send a galaxy and you can send me the pictures and then you jump the queue. If not, then we have to wait till the next live. Unfortunately, you have to drop me a follow and keep an eye out on that post and wait for that post to come in. When would your next live be? Your next live? I'll be honest, I don't actually have a plan for the next live just yet. I do go live every day to do like Q&As and general chit chat, so maybe I'll have to start replacing the general chit chat ones with this if the demand is there. I do also do lives where I edit your pictures as well, so that could be of interest. But yeah, for information on the next live, that will always be a pinned post on my TikTok page, so that's the best place to look. Opinion on Ruby Stone Red, gorgeous, mate. I love Ruby Stone Red, really, really nice. Okay, at Brandon Door 3, I like this a lot. To be honest, I do like this a lot. I think you've got the shutter speed really, really down, like really well. Obviously, we get a lot of drifting images in to these lives, as I'm sure if he's in here, Mr. JH Visuals. We do get a lot of drifting imagery coming through, and I love it. I love it. It's awesome. But yeah, this is what I was saying, where the standard of imagery coming through is so high that a lot of these are going to be very short. There's nothing I change. I'm not sure about the color grading on a personal preference, but again, that's just me. That's not feedback. The angle's nice, the wheel spinning's nice, good amount of smoke, good amount of motion blur, but you've still got the front of the car really sharp. Yeah, wouldn't change anything. Like, props to you, mate. This is a really good shot. To be fair, the sort of color grading I see used with a lot of drift cars. Yeah, I see. It's like a gritty sort of color grade, isn't it? Whereas, like, for me, I kind of like, it can work, it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't work. I think it's too warm, in my opinion, so I had a cool thing, change the color temperature down a little bit. There's a local Ruby Stone GT3 RS here. If you look up the guy who manages Dream Car Giveaways, he's got a Ruby Stone Porsche, like old school Porsche, and I've taken pictures of that, actually. It was gorgeous. Anyway, I can send you a DM of my pro car. It isn't public yet. What for? Is it for like the ratings or for the editings, or that looks like in Forza, that Fiesta? It's definitely got the game vibe about it, hasn't it? So at Brad G52, I think he's normally in these actually, but yeah, it's definitely got like a game vibe, hasn't it? So I think for me, the biggest thing with this is composition. So the car is not center, and it's not in a rule of thirds, or it's not in any other kind of composition thing. So I think, to be honest, the only thing that I would do to this to change it is the crop. I would have just changed the crop, leveled it out so that the car was sitting a bit more, tipped forward a little bit more. And I think, yeah, I would have just changed the crop to put the car central. But overall, it's a really good angle. You've done a good job at managing the reflections. I know these scenes, like bright days with the trees and stuff, is really tricky, but you've clearly gone to the edge of it to try and get away from the reflection. So you've done an all right job there. Maybe down here is a little bit dark, kind of somewhat hiding the brake calipers and tyres there. And that rear wheel is losing a bit of detail. But like, I think, yeah, I would have just changed the crop, in my opinion. I think that's the only thing that I would have changed. Yeah, really. Again, another short one. I like the colours, I like the lighting, I like the angle of the car, the wheel facing the right way, the badge is even in the wheel is upright. I would have just changed the crop, in my opinion. That's it. Right. We all saw his message. He told me to skip it, okay? We all saw that. Let me just change this out. No, because this is like a... Yeah. Someone's managed to get himself a little 2-for-1 with this, hasn't he? Let me just move this around. Okay, right. No, just for you to see if you're of any interest. I mean, you're more than welcome to send it to me, mate. I'm not really sure what you want me to do with it, though. Come on. These are cool. I do like bike stuff. Like, I do genuinely like bike stuff. I do like motocross, and I don't follow any of it, but I do love the photography that comes from it. Because obviously you're not going to get this, well, you can get this with cars, but like, this one for me, I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of the bottom one. For me, like, obviously, yes, this is an impressive angle, and you've clearly got the bike going over the top of you, so this whole thing is impressive. For me, this top image is the one. I love to see Like, you've got a good light source behind the bike there, so there's a nice kind of gradient going on. And I think it's good to see, like, obviously, I don't know what is this move called? I don't know, but it's cool. You know, you've got all the side of the bike, you've got the rider there as well. This is honestly, like, really, really impressive. The bottom picture's all right. I just don't want to see the underside of a bike, if that makes sense. I'd rather see all of this. So for me, that top image is, I love that. That's really, really cool in my opinion. Really, really like it. At Cedric Wandery. Yeah, love it. That top image is awesome. The bottom image is all right as well. For me, I don't want to see the underside of the bike. I like seeing that side profile. So yeah, that top image is the one for me. I've never really done bikes, but I've seen so many good. Yeah, like there's a lot. Like I've done a couple of bikes, and I've really enjoyed photographing the bikes. I always enjoy photographing bikes. I think with bikes, there's a lot, especially when it comes to lighting them different. Like when you manually light them, there's a lot of angles on them, so there's a lot of shadows and a lot of highlights. So to me, I just love it. I think it's the texture thing for me that I really like. But no, I would encourage anyone to go photograph some bikes. Like they're really cool to photograph. Okay, so at Jack144158. Now, this goes back to what I was saying before with the, I don't think it's intentional, but it's almost like a selective color edit on this. Like I can tell it's not intentional because the golds come in there, but like the red really, really pops out there, which is really, really nice. And good use of foreground there. That's not too in the way. I want to say that's overshooting the front of the bike slightly, but it's not major. Clearly like a bike meet as well, which is really cool. Nice background, very clean. There's not really like any distracting elements. I think maybe that bike there, the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm like, is kind of in the way. But other than that, this is really nice. I love what you've done with like the colouring on it, and like the overall colours is really, really nice. Front 3/4 of a bike. You know what? What more do you want? But I do like this. I'd love to see like some detail shots with this color grade going on as well. It's really, really nice. I do like it a lot. Do you prefer simple minimalistic backgrounds or scenic full backgrounds? Both. Both. Would get a bike, but I know my yeah, mate. Same. The one good thing with motorbikes as well. A lot of bikers are always very, very keen for photographs. So I think it's definitely worth reaching out to some if you want to get experience in that field. Which TikTok do I need to comment on for you to rate it? I'm not taking any extra submissions now unless there's galaxies left. So if you want one done now, that's how you do that. And then I'll give you instructions on how to send it to me. Do you check Instas? No, I tried that, and unfortunately I got told off by TikTok for doing that, for jumping around apps. So sorry, no, I'm not doing that anymore. So what I do is I take the pictures that have been sent in that I've asked for. So if you drop me a follow and keep an eye out on my page, I will be in posts as and when I'm posting as and when I need images to do these with. The next live is going to be an editing live, so I'll be editing your pictures, so you can send me pictures unedited and I can do my bit to them. But yeah, we're just picking up from yesterday's live at the minute. Yeah, so I'm not taking anything from comments at the moment. If you want to get your image in amongst this bunch now, then you can leave a galaxy and send me the image and I'll get on it. But if not, you'll have to wait for the next live. Information on that is in my pinned post, so I will let you know when that happens. Really nice angle. Tips on this are really nice. 100% completely agree with you. At SVD_photography. Good angles, good use of foreground there. Very much like frame in a frame kind of thing, which I really like. The color temperatures and the color grade on this is really, really nice. I think the only thing for me that bugs me is the graffiti on that there, because it doesn't quite fit, and that bright red thing in the side of the car on the reflection, but that's being mega picky there. But good angle, good color grade, good use of foreground, good frame in a frame. I'd just get rid of that graffiti there. I think it's a really clean image, so I think just get rid of that, and that's the only thing I change. That's it. Right, we did this one last night. Okay, where are we at? Would it be better to send a pic I don't know how to edit or have an idea for? To be honest, it's up to you. So with these lives, when I do the editing lives, I don't really go into Photoshop. So I try to do everything in Lightroom just to keep things straightforward. So if you have an idea for it and you don't know how to do it, or you don't have the facilities to do it or anything, then yeah, I can do that for you. It's up to you, really. Is the only thing I can say there. Or send them both. Just send them both and see what I do. Is the other option, you know. That's giving them Forza Horizon 5 Mexico vibes. Yes, it very much is. At Car Myth Photography. Only thing for me is these reflections in the floor. It's very bright. You are right. It is very bright, but I feel like it kind of works almost. because you haven't like, it's not overexposed in my opinion. I think like are still that, you know, the sky, the color in the sky is still there as well. It's very summery feeling to me anyway. It's very summery feeling to me, and being on what appears to be some sort of beach car park as well, I had to just got rid of these shadows. I think is the only thing I'd have done. I like the angle. You've leaned in on the angle a bit. Nice front 3/4. You know, the wheel has been turned to face the camera, so the wheel face is facing the camera, which is everything I preach. And you've kept a lot of detail in the shadows as well. I think yeah, I'd only maybe center the car a little bit more, because there's a bit more space on this side than this side. But I'd just got rid of those shadows in the bottom. I don't think I'd have done anything else differently, really. Okay. Wish Photoshop wasn't so expensive. I've got a trick. I've got a trick that I don't put out there because I know I'll get told off, but I know they're not, Adobe aren't going to watch this live, so it's fine. Get your subscription, and I think if you have a subscription after a while, you can then you have a support agent. Use ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT that you want to get your build down with Adobe and that you are going to copy and paste the chat between the two. Get ChatGPT to write the opening message, copy and paste that into the Adobe support agent, and just go back and forth, copy and paste in the messages, and eventually ChatGPT will get your build down. Stonks. But yeah, that's how I done it, and basically for the entire Adobe suite, I pay £19 because I did that. Confusing AI with AI, exactly. If they're going to use AI, I'm going to use it. You know what I mean? If they're going to use it to bring my bill up, I'm going to use it to bring my bill down. So the entire Adobe suite costs me £19 a month for the year because I just went back and forth for 5 minutes between them. But because I'm aware it's very expensive and they upped the price on everyone. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm not having that. Same trick works on most subscriptions. Exactly. Like the full suite. Yep, I have everything, all of it, top to bottom. But 19 quid a month, I think, for all of that is not, like, in terms of like obviously from my thing, like, it's not, especially if you're getting paid for stuff like for shoots and stuff, that's obviously incredibly cheap. I mean, obviously, like you said, it's a lot for some people, but like it is still, for the whole suite, it is cheap. Yeah, it's one of them. I pay more than that for just Lightroom and Photoshop. Yeah, I've got Lightroom, Photoshop, Rush, After Effects, Premiere Pro, all of it. I've got everything. Definitely use ChatGPT to your advantage. There's nothing wrong with that. Save yourself a bit of, you know. Do the same with Spotify. Yeah. Do you know the one thing that's really bugged me about Spotify? Even if you pay for it, they've now capped the amount of listening hours you've got for audiobooks. Being off that did really annoyed me because I love my audiobooks. Been missing the stuff is good for hobbyists. Yeah, I think as long as you got something that's good for a hobbyist, then, you know, okay, let's get cracking. I believe this person was watching this live earlier. I can't say this, Avistamentis _ supercar, have I said that right? So, good angle, like we said, like I was saying in the comments, this is a good angle. I'm not normally like a fan of cutting off the car, but the way you've done this is right. Like, where you've done it is right. So, if you're going to do it, you don't want to do it down the middle of a badge or anything like that. You want to make sure that there's no things kind of creeping in, which is not here. So the front light, front wheel, rear wheel, this side angle here is really nice. Clean background, good lighting, good texture on the floor as well, good shadow, kept all the details in. Again, this is one of those ones where there's really not anything I'd have changed. I would have liked to have seen the wheel turned, because obviously the Lambos have got humongous brake calipers. So I would have liked to have seen the wheel turned on this personally. Maybe the wing mirror not tucked in, but again, if this is like at a meet or something, then you haven't really got an option in that. But yeah, no, it's really nice. I like it. I like what we've done with it. I wouldn't change anything. Ooh, that's nice. Looks similar to the Horizon 2 cover because of the colour. Yeah. Wish I missed it when he did mine. All the lives, as Kane has just said, all the lives are uploaded to YouTube. Last night's one, this live now will get joined on to last night's one because I cut last night's one short because I had to run. But yeah, this is a very smart image. It's a very clean image, which I really like. So yes, as we just said in the comments, this is a very smart image. So at Kuba10X1. Do you know, again, not a thing I'd change. Nothing I would change on this. I think the caliper in the bottom corner is nice. The badge being slightly turned works really well, but the colouring you've got on this and the lighting you've got on this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. As far as a Porsche wheel goes, I would not change anything. Like I said, a lot of these are going to be very short because there's not much I can say. Like, a lot of the images have been coming in have been bang on. No, nothing I change. Sorry, that's all the feedback I can give you. Yeah, I've got some I might send in at some point, mostly heavily modified JDM cars. Yeah, definitely send them in. Drop me a follow and keep an eye on my page. I very much kind of like, I'll post asking for images and then information will be in that on how, when the next live is. I'm very much kind of do it one at a time. just because I don't really have a consistent schedule that I can kind of stick to when it comes to these lives. So I do very much tend to do it kind of as and when I can. So all the pictures in this live were taken from the comment section on the previous post where I asked for images. So if you're messaging me them now or you're dropping them in the comments now, I'm not going to get to them unless you leave a galaxy. That's the only time I ever make a change to those rules. So yeah, that's the only time I'm doing that. Okay, that's a nice side profile. You are spot on. At LLW Photos. Very, very nice side profile picture. For me, the only bit of criticism I can give you on this is I think the wheels, especially in the back, I know it's a dished wheel, because obviously the rear wheel's a bit wider on the Porsches. I would have just perhaps brought the exposure up on that rear wheel to match the front. There's clearly like a light source coming from over here, which is what's lighting up this front wing and the front wheel, but I would have brought up the exposure on the rear wheel specifically with the mask, just to bring it up, just to match the front wheel in my opinion, and then you would have had a perfect side profile image. Yeah, but even, you know, clean reflections, clean background, clear light source, good use of masking, I would have just brought up that rear wheel. That's it. That's the only thing I'd have changed. Yeah, but no, really, really good picture. Really, really good. Here he is. He's not watching this, is he? He's not. I'm gonna send this to him. I know him. Where is he? Where is he? I'm just gonna Snapchat him now because I do know him. I'm gonna tear this apart, mate. Just gonna send this to him now. Bear with me. It's probably working today, bless him. Right. Anyway, let's tear this apart. At jsdetailing.uk. Now, you may recognise this car because I have photographed it both with its current owner and its previous owner. I know Jay's detailing quite well. If you're in Dolgellau, North Wales area, definitely check him out. He's a very good detailer. Done a lot of work with him. I don't plug businesses often on this, especially if I haven't worked with them, but I've worked with Jay multiple times. Highly, highly recommend him. Go check him out. Now, Laguna Seca Blue E36. Now, yes, as we're saying in the comments, this is a lovely car, and yes, it is incredibly nice to photograph, and it is literally as good looking in person as it is in this photo. So yes, so Jamie, the only thing I would do, and I'm going to be honest, I'll be honest with you. So good use of masking on the bottom there. Love having that kind of apex in the front corner there. Car is nice and center. The biggest thing that bugs me about this is the distractions in the background. Now, in my opinion, there's not enough cars going on for it to look... It's clearly a show, but there's not enough cars there to kind of make it look like a full show. So I would have got rid of these. Just got rid of these with my mate Generative Phil, good old Phil, and got rid of these things in the background. If you're going to bring a mask in from the bottom, I would bring one in from the top as well, because it's clearly like an overcast day, so I'd have brought a mask in from the top down. But other than that, there's not much I'd have changed on this. It's just the distractions and bit more masking top and bottom. Well, that's it. That's the only thing I'd have changed on this. Coloring's good. Where the lines are is really nice. It's obviously level. The car's center. I'd have just changed the masking, really, in my opinion. But that's it, mate. That's it. I'm not gonna roast you too hard. Right. I missed yesterday's live. Are you gonna post it? Yes. So I had to cut yesterday's live short. So this is just a continuation of that. When all of this is done, I will post it all up on YouTube. I'll join it together and put it up on YouTube with all my other lives. A man in Dolgellau tried speaking to me in Welsh because I had this as a Ruth in plate. Where can I see my work? So you can either check out my social media or my website, G3CXO.com. That's where all my shoots are on there. They're not all public, but most of them are. So obviously some of them are behind passwords for request of clients. But my social media is where most of my work is, and my website is where most of my work is. My work's not perfect, but I like to think I do know enough about photography after 10 years. After nearly 10 years, that I can give some feedback to the younger generation. Do me, bro, please. If you want to jump the queue or you want to get in on this, it will cost you a galaxy. If not, you'll have to wait for the next live. There'll be information on that on my page soon. So I do tend to alternate between what lives I do, but I got a feeling that if this level of demand continues, I may have to start doing these daily. Because, yeah, there's a lot coming in, to be honest. I don't know, would people want to see this daily? Like, would you not get bored? Are you reviewing edits or we send it unedited and you say what you do? So this live now, I am giving feedback on the photography itself. If you want me to edit your pictures, that is on the next live. Information on that is on my pinned post. I'm still kind of trialing different things at the minute to see what people want to see more of, and obviously what I can comfortably do. So yeah, if you let me know in the comments like what you'd rather see, if you'd rather see feedback or you'd rather see me edit or both, let me know. Yes, Samuel Sinful Cult, this is your one, and you are currently in the comment section already giving yourself feedback. See more of this. Yeah, look, if there's demand, I'm going to keep doing it. I think we can comfortably say, like, the first time I did this, we had 150 plus images, and that wasn't all of them. And each one now, we've probably had, I'd say, 100 comments plus on every post. So, and I think we're on 7 or 8 of these now. So, like, the numbers are really ramping up. And like I said, if the demand keeps coming in, then we'll keep doing it. It's just sort of one of them where, like, obviously I am self-employed. I do work for myself, so I do need to make sure that I'm doing my work as well as this. So, yeah, if anyone does want to support, leave some gifts and stuff, that'll be grand. If you want to support the work I do, that'll be amazing. I do also have a Patreon where I put in a lot of advice, digital assets and presets. Only one preset at the moment, but we're getting there. Where I do try to help beginner photographers out as much as possible. That's a platform you can look at to support me. Link in the bio. Plug. I got to do all the plugging myself now because Cartel Automotive is left and he's my moderator and he's normally the one shamelessly plugging for me. Doesn't even have an affiliate code. Maybe we'll get him one. What do you reckon? Do we get him one?